Drum roll, please. You know, we've been doing this for a heck of a long time.
Same intro.
You know, it's amazing because it's like I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day, David. I feel like I'm a hamster in a wheel. I feel like we're talking about the same story over and over and over again, but the characters keep changing. It's kind of like the vanilla toys that used to be made when we were a kid and just slapped a different brand on it or a different license, and it would be the same toy over and over and over again. You know, the toy industry. You're somewhat familiar with it. I got to tell you, how many terrorists that are Israeli have blown up, shot, murdered mass amounts of people in the United States, David?
Zero.
Okay, David, how many Israelis have come to Canada and tried to assassinate, murder, cause harm to any minority group in Canada?
As far as we know, zero.
I got another question, David. In the entire Western world, what Israelis have gone out to cause mass murder on a minority group anywhere that you can recall?
Zero.
Wow. So are you trying to tell me, David, that the Israeli people, the Zionists of the world, have gone nowhere else in the world to murder, maim, rape, behead anyone?
Well, if you ask any sane person, they'll tell you no. If you ask those insane ones, they'll tell you all the time.
Well, I mean, so I guess the Democrats of the United States and the liberals in Canada are insane. I mean, they must be insane, David. For people to allow people into a country that perpetuate hate crimes against its citizens has got to be the definition of insanity, would it not?
Beyond.
All right. You're right, David. It is another interesting introduction that sounds like Groundhog Day over and over and over and over again. Because some psychopath from Egypt, go figure, not the only psychopath from Egypt, but what about all the normal people from Egypt?
Why are you calling him a psychopath?
Why
are you calling him a psychopath?
Someone with that much hate.
Really? So whoa. So you're telling me that this is a psychopath or someone who's been brainwashed by a system or systems, and he's been encouraged to do this? No, I don't agree with you. You're calling him a psychopath is a pass.
You know what, David? Good point. So the people that are educating this person and brainwashing him come from what country?
Oh, listen, it's not just from there. It's not just from Egypt. You got people from Pakistan. You got people from other, Middle Eastern countries. This is the education they've come here with. This is the baggage they've come here with. And I want to thank the United States and Canada and Europe for continuing to allow this form of education. In fact, they've enhanced it.
So back to my statement. I feel like a hamster in a wheel because the Democrats, the liberals, seem to perpetuate this circle of hate. Hi, everybody. I'm Stuart Brisgell. That's David Solomon. And I gave a twisted introduction just to start it off. It's a go-to podcast, which is unapologetic. Clearly, I am not apologizing for the slanderous hatred comments I have about some of the minority groups being let into our countries without vetting them as being proper candidates for our society, whether it's breaking down the latest headlines or exploring pop culture, debating politics, or delving into complexities of modern life. This is exactly that. It is a perplexity of modern life. So grab a seat, settle in, and join us on a thought-provoking rant and meaningful discussion. This rant has nothing off limits. So I've got to again reiterate, there are people from Egypt that are sound, normal citizens of either country. There are sound Pakistanis that are in our countries that have undergone the proper scrutiny of immigration. But David, we just started this rant off. There's not a single incident with a favored nation called Israel that has been on the other side of this argument, has there?
You know, you went down that track, and I'm going to tell you, I think that you're right, but I think that the point is a little different. The point isn't about what Israelis do. It's what Western society is now accepting. Western society, these liberal, Democrat, call them whatever you want, parties are allowing open immigration in exchange for votes. Let's be candid. That's what they're doing. You come to my country, you scrub my back. You vote for me because I let you in. No problems asked. Ask Joe Biden, the open border policy. This was all about getting Democratic votes. This was not about anything more than that. And anytime the Democrats continue to allow, say Venezuelan or Middle Eastern terrorists or criminals cannot be thrown out of the United States, they're worried about losing one more vote. That's what this is about. Because let me put it this way. 30 minutes after the Boulder, Colorado incident with this Egyptian who didn't allegedly, we've got it on film, enough with this BS. He went out and he tortured people, and including a Holocaust survivor, okay? He tortured people and he yelled Free Palestine and all this. And 30 minutes later, Elon Omar has a fucking fundraiser in that area. Doesn't say a word, doesn't condemn it, doesn't anything. That is what is going on today. Stuart, when you have in Canada, the Liberal Party of Canada quietly investigating dual citizen Canadian Israeli citizens who served in the IDF for war crimes, this is what you're getting. This is the mindset of this left-leaning insanity. We're not dealing with a wholesome society. We're dealing with a power shift that people want to just move to in order to stay in power. They've made a deal with the devil. Not every Muslim, you said it, is bad.
I agree.
There are Iranians who are here in the United States and Canada who want to live in peace and don't want part of it. I have met many Arabs who are of Christian descent and who want to live in peace. I have met a few Muslims who want to live here in peace, but they're petrified to say a word. They're petrified to respond because they know that if they do something, they're being intimidated. They're being told to toe the line. And when you have an incident in Washington, D.C., and you have an incident in Boulder, Colorado, and you're going to have copycats, unfortunately, we're going to see this copycats. And unless there is bipartisan condemnation and absolute slamming of the law, this will not stop. And I'm tired of telling, when you hear a guy like Michael Rappaport, who's a comedian, Stuart, who's become very, very staunchly proud Jewish since October the 7th. He's on his podcast. He's basically telling everybody, hey, Jews, quote, the cavalry ain't coming. We're on our own again. Because the United States government, with all due respect to Mr. Trump, Leo Terrell, and all the rest of them, yeah, sure, Pam Bondi, they're gonna want to apply the law. But when you have Democratic governors in Massachusetts and in other states, refusing to let ICE in, refusing to tell ICE there are those terrorist criminals are there. When you have sanctuary cities like in Chicago and San Francisco, and they're refusing, basically they're perpetuating hate. They're going down that road.
I agree.
When you say it's Groundhog Day, absolutely. But it's worse than Groundhog Day. It's Reality Day. The reality is that where's the intestinal fortitude? They're all excited that in Holland, by the way, Stuart, the right-wing government is being toppled. Oh, another right-wing government. Poland, it's amazing what the media wants to do. The right-wing is bad. Right now, the only party that's upholding the law is the right-wing parties. Conservatives, Republicans, they're the only ones upholding the law. left liberals, leaning liberals, Democrats, socialists, they want this anarchy. It's nuts. and it's okay to burn Jews who were doing a peaceful run to release hostages. That's what they were doing, Stuart. It wasn't, oh my God, let's go protest against Hamas. They wanted to release the hostages. And there are these marches all over North America, Stuart, including in my hometown every Sunday. And now the fear is, what? Now we have to add security there? Because where's the police? Where's everybody else? Once again, we're on our own.
And the Qataris keep sending in the cash to spend and make this all work. And the Qataris.
So why isn't Trump? Where is Trump to tell Qatar to shut up, to stop? Where is Trump to stop the flow of the money in? He says it's all from Iran. It's not all from Iran.
Well, Iran is the head of the snake.
Why aren't you talking about Qatar? That Qatar had been funding
because they're radicals. Because they're radicals in all these fucking countries, David. And Qatar is a country that has money that isn't under the Ayatollah Khomeini terror. You know, they subscribe to but they have their own money. It's like Saudis. It's like Kuwaitis. Sure. I mean, they have their own money. Those people that live in Tehran don't have the money.
Stuart, you're wrong. The mullahs are sending the cash. So don't tell me Iran doesn't have money.
The mullahs are sending the cash. The Qataris have the cash.
Stuart, but you're once again you're excusing it. Look at the universities. Who cares? You know, if it's the leadership that sends the money, it's not
George Soros. You have the Rothschild.
Why are you forgiving Qatar?
I'm not forgiving Qatar.
And Saudi Arabia. They're the ones who've helped to create this problem. University funding has come from these countries. They put chairs and professors from these countries. They've been teaching hate. You have university kids standing at a dais spewing hate towards Israel and calling for intifada. And if this is what you think it's okay to come from Qatar, no, it's not okay. It's not okay from any of these countries. Nope. They helped happen, and the United States government has let it flow. Canada has let it flow. England and France have let it flow. Guys, cut the head of the snake. It is not only Iran. Don't be delusional.
I agree, David. I mean, we're not exactly arguing over the hamster and the wheel, just the word salad that we're each choosing to use. I am trying to bring up that the flow of funds does come from Obama's gift to the Ayatollah, Biden's renewed gift on allowing him to provide oil and gas and become a fiefdom. I am merely trying to bring up the elites from Qatar who are doling out their own money on their own agenda, the Saudis, the princes that are doling out their money to placate the insanity ensuing our country, and them utilizing our laws for their good, which our laws don't work in their world. You know, it's no different than the communists from China arguing trademark in the U.S. courts when they refuse to even have a U.S. court subscribe to their courts. David, this is the insanity of the left. This is the insanity of chaos, anarchy, and the destruction of what I'm calling a 250-year-old experiment that if we don't intercede, it will be a very sad state.
Stuart, you're already on the track. You're already on the explosive track. And, you know, I know that Pam Bondi and Leo Terrell and Kristi Noem and all the rest of the gang are trying to, you know, stop this. But Stuart, they're in the United States thanks to the Biden administration. David,
the goal, just so you know, that seems to be the most logical, is they were trying to stack these metropolitan cities with not just immigrants that are loyal, but with constituents that would shift the census. Okay, it's a census game to give California, New York, Illinois
Yes.
more votes than the rest of the country. That's the plan.
Stuart, in Canada, it's the same
That's
thing.
the cabal.
Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver represents 30% of the seats in the House of Commons. If you fill it up and you keep adding people to there that vote for you, you win an election. This is the game. It doesn't matter where you are. And so, yeah, you play the numbers game using immigration. That's what you want to do. Good. But here's what's the crazy part, Stuart. It's who you're bringing in.
It's all crazy.
And you know what? You could tell me all you want. I'm vetting people. But you want to know what, Stuart? This guy came in on a student visa. Student or tourist visa? Which one? I don't know. He came in on a visa. And then the visa expired and they gave him a work permit. What the hell is that crap? So here's the thing is he followed the system and he succeeded in staying. It's not about just going through the process. It's about enforcing laws, enforcing values. Where is this? Where is this? My challenge to the Democratic Party and every liberal out there, why are you denying our values? Why are you saying we should let in terrorists? Don't give me I'm a racist. Stop with this labeling. These are people who are coming in for crime purposes, for criminal purposes, for terrorist purposes. Why aren't you calling it for what it is? When are you going to wake up? When it hits you, it's too late by then.
You know, and that brings this episode to a close. We truly appreciate you tuning in and sharing some time with us. Your support and engagement means everything. We continue to foster an open and honest and thought-provoking conversation. Don't forget, we're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern. Stay connected through our social, like our little snips, share our snips. Some of them are pretty funny, actually. But this is serious, and I think you got to be part of the solution, not the problem. Please give us a like, give us a love, give us a share. Thank you guys. Until next time, we'll see you real soon.